When we moved back to my grandpa's ranch-style home nestled just outside the city limits, we thought we were escaping the nonsense of nosy neighbors and endless HOA drama. We were wrong, because as it turns out, the HOA had expanded its reach, right up to the edge of Grandpa's land. And leading the charge was none other than Karen Delaney, the neighborhood's unofficial warden of all things petty. At first it was small stuff. Notes about the unpermitted paint color on Grandpa's barn, which had been that exact shade of rust red since 1974. Complaints that our chickens made unpleasant morning sounds. Even an email warning us not to hang laundry outside because it lowered property value. We ignored it. After all, Grandpa's land was outside the HOA jurisdiction. Their rules didn't apply, but Karen didn't take kindly to being ignored. One day, Grandpa caught her leaning over our fence, phone in hand, snapping photos of our yard. He stepped out with a smile and a cup of coffee and asked, "Something I can help you with?" She huffed, "You need to remove that trailer and those ugly tools. You're visible from the street." Grandpa replied calmly, "You're leaning over private property, ma'am. That's trespassing." Karen turned red, barked something about neighborhood standards, and stomped off. That's when Grandpa got an idea. See, back in the day, Grandpa was a military electrical technician. He once wired up comms posts in the middle of desert war zones. A simple perimeter fence? Child's play. So over the next few days, he upgraded the fence. Not dangerously, nothing lethal, just a low-voltage electrical current meant to discourage animals, and apparently certain Karens, from touching it. And before you ask, yes, there were clear warning signs posted every few feet, in bold, in red. We thought that'd be the end of it. But Karen wasn't done. Early one Saturday morning, I heard yelling outside. I ran to the porch and saw it happen in real time. Karen climbing our fence. She had a little stepladder propped against the backside and was halfway over the top rail, gripping the metal posts like she was scaling a mountain. That's when Grandpa walked outside in his robe, calmly sipping his coffee. He looked at me and said, "Time to flip the switch." I hesitated. "Grandpa, are you serious?" He nodded once. I jogged to the garage and flipped the clearly labeled breaker. Bzzzzzzzt. There was a loud zap, followed by a scream and a flurry of limbs. Karen flung herself backward off the fence, landing flat on the grass in a tangled mess of beige linen and entitlement. We rushed over, not because we were worried, but because we figured the cops would be involved soon. And sure enough, as Karen lay on the grass groaning, she pulled out her phone and dialed 911. "They electrocuted me. They assaulted me with a booby trap." When the deputies arrived, they took statements from all of us. Grandpa pointed out the clearly posted signs. He showed them the warning labels, the permit for the animal deterrent system, and even a printed diagram. Karen screamed about unethical force and dangerous setups, but the officers just looked at her and said, "Ma'am, this property is not under HOA regulation, and you climbed over a fence clearly marked electrified. That's on you." They even offered her a citation for trespassing and endangerment. She refused it and threatened to sue the whole county. They laughed and left. The aftermath? Karen limped off, humiliated and strangely quiet for the first time since we moved in. A few days later, we noticed the HOA newsletter had a new president's message. Karen had stepped back due to personal health concerns. Grandpa framed the warning sign from the fence and hung it in the garage. Under it, he wrote, "Respect boundaries or catch a charge."